if you're a parent and you're watching this, you can learn about it. It's tested. It's been around for a while. Probably not a lot of teachers are doing it, but um, I'm the next one, hopefully. So I just kind of want to talk about what it is and what we can expect out of it so that we can all feel like comfortable that we're going to get what we want out of it. So, and we can talk about in class what you guys may want out of it, but for the most part, for right now, I'm just gonna say what I want out of it. So, here's the Teacher's Guide to Flipped Classrooms. This is just on a website I found called Edudemic, and tells you like step one, what is a flipped classroom. So it's essentially, here's what it is. And it's got a little infographic, but turning traditional education on its head. Traditional classroom, the teacher's gonna lecture and going to assign homework, and you guys listen or don't listen. And when you get home, you do your homework or you don't do your homework, or you find a friend that did it and you copy off theirs, which is how it's probably been going on since the beginning of time. But we're going to try something different, and this is the flipped classroom. Basically, the video you're listening to right now and watching is your homework. You watch these videos. I'll try to keep them short, 7 minutes, 10 minutes. There may be 2 or 3 videos that you have to watch for the week, but your homework is to watch the video, whether you do that at home or on your phone on the way to school, or wherever you may do it, at school, in a lab, however we can get the information to you, that's how you're going to get it. But when we come to class, we're going to do the activities. We're going to do the math problems on the board together. We're going to run experiments. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. So it leads for a lot of creativity to come in, for us to do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do for homework. And the best part is when you're doing your homework in class with me, 9 times out of 10, your parents are not Algebra 1 teachers. Okay, and now there may be somebody out there that is, and that's great, but the rest of you, what about you? As you can see from the picture, all the students looking up at the teacher. In this picture, students are collaborating, teachers helping out. That's kind of what I'm looking for out of this. So if you have any questions, let me know. But as we go along, what the flipped classroom model does, students watch lectures at home at their own pace, communicating with peers and teachers via online discussion. This is the most amazing part. This is me talking to you, and then this is you talking to your buddy. And what does that do to me? Well, that makes me think, man, that kid's really being disrespectful right now. Or that makes me a little bit upset, and I have to stop what I'm doing and talk to you. In a flipped classroom, it's not like that. You can watch the video together, or whatever it may be. If it's a PowerPoint, you go through it. 2 or 3 or all of you can get together at some place, at school or at your home or wherever, and watch the video and talk about it and make fun of my voice or whatever it is you do or say, and it's not going to offend me one bit. I'm not going to hear what you have to say. Now, if you have questions during a lecture, or you think, wow, that really doesn't make any sense and I don't know what he's talking about, write those questions down, bring them to class, and then we can talk about it. And that's part of the active role. If something you don't understand, even though you watched the video, rewound it, watched it again and again and again, that's the kind of thing that we can address. Concept engagement takes place in the classroom with the help of the instructor, and that's me. So I'll be trying to plan a lot more interactive things, like I said, things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do for homework, or maybe not want to do for homework. But according to, how I feel about it, gone are the days of me lecturing to 2, 3 different classes, saying the same thing over and over again. That's a little boring. If you think about it, my job doing it this way, your class comes one day, the other class comes the other day. I have to say the same exact thing, but it's just a different audience. And here, I'm saying it once. I'm not nervous. I'm in, I could be wherever doing this. I could be at a coffee shop, enjoying a nice whatever. But I don't have to worry about any of the distractions that may come from you by me, or if I said something that was not right. I mean, always, if you see something in a video that you're like, that doesn't seem right, you should let me know, and then we can edit it or adjust it. But um, for the most part, that's what a flipped classroom is. So that's what we're going to try to do. Um, in our case, and I wrote some things down here. This is kind of what I want the outcomes to be. I want it to be the perfect classroom experience. Now, I don't know what that looks like, and I don't know what that is, but we have, when we come to class, if we use a math book, it's going to be a shared math book. So that cuts down on expenses, so we can get new books that are nice and up to date, but I only need 20 of them because I don't have 40 students taking the 40 books home and then them getting messed up or missing or lost or broken or whatever. So we're going to be sharing our books and our materials and stuff like that. So that cuts down on cost, and I like that, and I'm sure the faculty here likes that. But essentially, the next part, and I think you might like this, there is no homework. It frees up your time for other things. If the videos are only 7 to 10 minutes, you can watch them at your own pace. It would really not be great for you to be struggling in something and then you feel like, man, I've already spent 30 minutes on this and I just don't get it. And you're really just sitting there like not understanding it. When you come to class, it's going to be my job to make sure you understand it. And we're in class for 80 minutes. If you could spend 80 minutes doing homework when you went home, that would be awesome. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be doing that, and you don't want to do that. So if I can cut it down to like 10 minutes of a video that you need to watch for a class or over a few lessons or something like that, I think that's the win-win for both of us. I'm going to get what I want, which is you being engaged, and I know that you're working on something for 80 minutes and we have proof and we can build projects and stuff. And then you get what you want because you don't have to worry about, oh man, did my dog eat my homework? Well, your homework was to watch this video. So as long as you didn't get your iPhone or iPod eaten, you should have been able to get your homework done. Another thing it's going to cut down on, which, none of you cheat, I know that. But cheating on homework or not doing the assignment or taking the answers from somebody else that did it, they did the work and you basically stole that from them. So I don't appreciate that. And if that's how you've always done things, why don't you try to do something differently? Because some of you, this is not the first time you've been in this math class, or it may not be the last time you're in this math class. So if you keep doing the same thing and if you expect a different outcome, that's a little bit crazy. I mean, you're gonna have to change the way you do things to get different outcomes. There'll be no more of I do my lecture like up here, you guys sit and listen, and then I give a homework assignment and say, all right, in class, you're going to, I'll give you time to do your homework. And then you're like, nah, I think I'll just do it at home. Which in really what you're saying is, I'm going to wait for Johnny to get his done, and then after school, I'm just going to copy it as fast as I can. In some cases, it may take you 7 minutes to copy his work, but in that 7 minutes, you could have just watched the video. So you're doing the same amount of work outside of the classroom as opposed to talking or goofing off or whatever and not getting anything out of it. I think this is the way to go, especially for your age group and your maturity level and all the things that this entails. More time working together, talking about things, doing projects is what you want to be doing while you're at school. You want to be social butterflies, or you want to be working on things together or working toward a goal. And we can do that, but I don't have to pull my hair out by correcting you about this and that and that and that while I'm trying to get up there and do a lecture and you're taking away from other people's time. So some of you are better at this than others, like this standard form, but it's not for everybody. And times are changing, so we have to change too. This just says a little bit about theoretical framework if you wanted to pause this and look at it, but how it came to be says these two teachers, basically they had some kids that weren't missing lectures and stuff, so they just recorded their PowerPoints and put it online. And then that got shared with others, started spreading. They were asked to kind of take this model and teach other teachers how to do that, and it's become like a phenomenon almost. And I have other things here. Um, this site is called Khan Academy. A lot of you may have heard of it before, but basically, and this will be kind of how I model what I do also, and I may throw in a video from Khan Academy that I want you to watch to reinforce it, because if this guy's already done it and he's doing a really good job, then, you know, that makes sense. Why not watch that? So, you watch the video, he kind of goes through it, or it'll be watch part of the video or whatever. Some of the stuff has questions after it, but it'll just be a way to reinforce what we're learning. And he takes a lot of time and puts nice pictures and stuff in it, so I think it's better to watch when he does it. Another thing, more on the probably boring side to you, but maybe not, it's called TED Talks. And I got into these a couple of years ago, but basically what's going on is people around the world meet up and they talk about different things that are important to them. This guy right here, Jeffrey Canada, he's really big in helping failing schools out and what we should do to correct problems that we're having as far as that goes. So this is kind of like the adult version of Khan Academy, but more or less they're not teaching, what is the square root of 25. They're teaching you like can we go about fixing real world issues in education or technology. There's plenty of different videos, and if you ever want to look, or I may put one on there for us, but you got TED Talks about pretty much anything. So back to the flipped classroom. Outcomes are what's driving it for all the parents out there that care about this, which should be all of them. But if there's no parents watching, that's fine. Transitioning to having everybody graduate with a diploma. Like, we don't want anybody to drop out of school. If you look at people that do, there's evidence to show that the types of jobs that they get later on and the amount of time they have to work, it's pretty staggering that just staying in school for like those 4 years can take you a lot further. So I know some of you've already got your heart set, you're in the 9th grade and you're dropping out as soon as you can, but that's your choice. Life is full of choices. You make good ones, you make bad ones, but you got to live with the consequences. Right here it says there's more than 2,400 online video lessons on Khan Academy, and that was this one here, Khan Academy. And you can sign in and make a profile and all that. Most of these sites are pretty well the same as far as that goes. So what it'll look like, we'll still be doing things in class, like taking exit surveys, it may be that after you watch the video, you come to class, we work on some stuff, you do a little exit survey or an entrance survey from what the video said. What do you remember about what the video said from here? You may watch the video first thing when you get home, or half of it. Then later on, right before you go to bed, watch a little bit more. Then right when you wake up, first thing in the morning. That's a great way to maybe rewind it a little bit to remember what was said. Or if it's only 7 minutes, you could watch it 3 or 4 times. That's like hearing me lecture about something 3 or 4 different times. It's just going to reinforce it. Oh, that's what this means. Or so this is the way that their process worked. They made 3 videos a week, 5 to 7 minutes. They watched them at home or in school if they didn't have internet access at home. Like I said, you can watch them at school. This will be, it'll be the same. It'll be on my webpage. You'll just go on here. But that's how it'll work. It'll work the same way we've been doing things, but flipped. So here's some of the results that these people, Newton, got together. But before this school flipped, 50% of the kids failed English. They also failed math, 44%. And then after the flip, only 19% failed English and 13% failed math. So, depending on what school it is, I don't know what our numbers are here, but hopefully this will be just something that's a little bit different and it makes it interesting and it catches on. And then, who knows where we can go from here. But